Hey guys, Josh, right Coast Off-Road. This is the second video on the total KRX we bought. I'm going to jump right in it because it's going to be really long if I don't. But first and foremost, I think the fenders were off of it when you guys saw it last. The hood was missing, the grill was missing, everything was tweaked up. The rear fenders were crushed in, and this has all just been in a week, so we've been rolling on it. Trying to get stuff done at night. During the day, staying late. Everybody that helped, appreciate it. But first and foremost, the reason it was totaled was this door frame was bent in here. You can see where it cracked the paint and stuff there. Gonna probably brace it up, repaint it. But I mean, everything else is perfectly fine. The lower bar, main frame, everything's good. All the suspension straight. So we bent this back out and then straightened up the latch there. Works like new. Obviously this was all crushed in. We got this back as good as we could. Don't really care that much because it's going to be the same thing. Cut all the damaged fenders off on the rear like we did on our old two-seater. Took the door bars out, or the fender bars out, so when we hit stuff it tucks in. Cut the taillights off because we know they're going to be destroyed. Put in some cheap Amazon taillights. And that was enough to get it back to stock in good enough shape to run. So then we did a full service, fuel filter, new Trinity air filter, which we sell, oil filter we sell as OEM, just fuel filter, everything like we would do any customer that brought it here, wanting to, freshen up their KRX. New plugs that we sell. In the clutch, we did a new belt, cleaned out the clutches really good, put our weights in there. This is a 4-weight clutch because it's a 24, and put the DynoJet braced pressure plate in there, those are good for everything, especially the 3 weights, but they help with the force too. And again, I think I skipped by it because I'm trying to hustle through this video so you guys don't have to watch it forever, and it's late and we're riding tomorrow. So interior, did the AJ's door pulls. I'll put a link to those. He sells those. We don't sell them, but I love these little things. They're perfect. It takes 5 minutes to put in, and it just helps grab the door. AJ's shift gate, plastic so it doesn't rattle around. $45. We sell those on our website. I like them because if you get in a bad position, which we tend to do sometimes, if you're on the low side, front end stands up, straight back to reverse. And it just makes, we ride a lot of tight trails, so it makes it a lot easier just to grab gears and move around and stuff. Dedicated Motorsports cup holder. I think this was their last one. Not sure, but we grabbed that. That's cool. It kind of still gives you access to your cubby, but then you still got cup holders. And when we get the cage done, I'm going to mount the phone there. China Moto tablet holder. Probably not going to use a tablet much in here because of where we ride, but it's just nice to have the storage. T-Rex Off-Roads PV3 mount. I'd never ran one. We always use either the DynoJet mount or like a Ram mount, but he had this. He's a small business like us, so I figured I'd support him. PV3 with the can tune. Working on another tune now that we're going to try out on it. Should be pretty cool. We also sell those on our website. Seismic Trail Rider mirrors. I like the new style of these because they just clamp on one side so they don't get in the way of your windshields or whatever else you may have up there. Cheap half windshield. We got that just because it'll go on our cage we're having built. Class 1 Motorsports upper door covers. These are awesome on KRX. If you've had a KRX, you know that the door splits and it'll pinch you and it sucks. So these things are awesome. Class 1's great, guys. We sell a few of their parts and are going to put a few more on here, but they really know their stuff. They race out in the desert and nothing but positive things to say about them. All the brake pads are smoked, so we put EBCs on it that we sell, made in America. These are the 35-inch ITP Savage XTs HARC compound off of our H2. So to run the H2 wheels and tires on our four-seater, or on our KRX 4-lug, we got super ATV adapters. So I'm not crazy about adapters and wheel spacers personally, but you got to do what you got to do because we're trying to do this on a budget. and this thing's just going to be a beater. It's going to get sent up every hill, rock climb, whatever you can think of. That's what it's going to do. Performance side-by-side bushing spool points. We sell those on our website, put them on everything, including the H2 and all of our KRXs. Our tender springs front and rear. We have this machine set up really low because we're going to be doing a lot of technical stuff on it, so I wanted it to be as low as possible. Factory winch was on it, still worked fine. Put rope on there from Super ATV because I don't like cable. It'll cut you and it's dangerous. The only part we actually had to buy for the body was the grill. Luckily we found a cheap one of those. We're going to long arm this soon, depending on funds. So we went ahead and put our XXL flares on there. We have AJ's flares that are like these but shorter, and then he let us use his design and we extended them out for the long arm flare, or what we call the XXL flare. And with these spacers and offset wheels, we're going to need those. Obviously nothing on the back, but I just hate getting blasted in the face while riding, so we always put these on the front. Super ATV kickers, they stepped up big time, man. They helped us out a ton. So we put their kickers on our website also. The Super ATV frame stiffener that ties all your lower A-arm mounting points together, and it's like running a metal skid plate under the front, so we like that. Super ATV half-inch skid plate, that's what we run on everything. It works awesome as usual. Our transmission skid plate under or above the Super ATV skid. No motor mod yet or anything. Probably going to do the GGB quad exhaust once we catch up on funding and get the long arm and stuff done. But for right now, stock one with the spark arrestor removed. I know people on the West Coast won't like that, but out here they just get full of mud and they're useless. And this thing's got a cat in it anyway. Nothing's going to come out of it. Pack outs, because we swap them between all of our machines. Pro Steel, of course, for pack outs. This is the lowest mount he's got. It's double on this side, single on this side. Keeps everything nice and low. That's what we're shooting for with this machine. Prototype stub shaft or transmission output, whatever you want to call it. Can't talk about that yet. We have not done the motor mounts yet. We're going to get into that soon, probably next week's video. Performance side-by-side bushings carrier bearing, which we sell and again run on all our KRXs. Super ATV Rhino drive shaft, Turner front diff input, and Super ATV diff lock gear. So the whole drive line's built, so that shouldn't be an issue. I'm kind of concerned about these tires because they're pretty stout. They work awesome. They work unreal. They worked great on the H2. Everybody that I know that runs them too loves them. But I'm kind of worried that they're about 63 pounds a piece without the wheel. So we'll see. Taking it out tomorrow for its kind of shakedown run. What we didn't do around here. I think I said badass belt. If I didn't, badass belt. That's what we've always ran. We love them. The cage is coming soon. It's going to be very, very low. We're going to lower the seats, remove the intakes, put them in there with the Infinite Fab kit that he's got. But for now, we had some AJ's intake covers laying around. If you're running these intake boxes, run these covers. We sell them. AJ sells them. They're great. They're open on the bottom, so all the mud that would usually fly down on top of it and cover up your frog skins, not an issue anymore. These things are awesome, and they're tough too. Like, we break a lot of stuff, and I don't think we did break one in a rollover, but it was a bad one. But other than that, they'll last through trees and everything else. And I think that's it. So, not trying to rush through it, but if I didn't, this would be a freaking 30-minute video. So we're here. We've got a built driveline, 35 stickies, tune, clutch, all the basic stuff. So should be a good base. Hopefully nothing rears its ugly head tomorrow when we're out wheeling it. But if it does, we'll let you know. And we should have another video out next Friday. Maybe the cage. I don't know if it'll be done yet by then, but there will be some other cool stuff on there. And then whatever we break tomorrow or whatever we find an issue with tomorrow. But in the future, long arm for sure. We ran that before. Really like it. Installed a bunch of the kits. And Big shout out to everybody that helped us send us stuff, especially Super ATV. Our sales rep was all about it, jumped right in on it. So special thanks to her. That was awesome. And yeah, we're setting her up low and wide, and hopefully it'll be pretty badass in the rocks and on the hills and stuff. But we'll let you guys know. So far, it looks like it's going to be good, even though it was a totaled machine from Copart. So any questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, put them in the comments down below, and we'll do our best to answer them. And hopefully we can get all the links in the description if they don't limit us on characters. And you'll have access to every part you'd ever need if you want to build anything like this. But that's it, guys. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.